Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to the best deals on GOG for this week. We start off first with Mortal Shell Digital Deluxe Edition. Now surprisingly, this Digital Deluxe version is cheaper than the base game right now, and there's a special offer until the 22nd of August. So this is a Souls-like game with a slightly unique mechanic. You have these multiple shells that you can sort of go into and use them for combat. It's a pretty decent game, and it's like a budget AA sort of Souls-like game. So not a bad price at all here, $6.29 once again for the Digital Deluxe Edition. This has also been given away by Epic Games Store, but the base game was given away, so not the Digital Deluxe version. So you could try that out, and if you want a DRM-free copy, you could pick it up here on GOG. Next we have Liberated. So this is a very nice looking, interesting game. This is set within the pages of a comic book. It's drawn in this black and white noir style. It's got a cyberpunk setting. Human rights are being taken away. People, there's always surveillance and stuff like that. And so you have to sort of work against that. And there's some fun action elements as well. There is a lot of shooting and stuff. And the story is told within the chapters of the comic book. I really liked it, and it's a nice little game. It's 80% off here for only $3.99. Next is Dying Light, and this is the definitive version. So a great game, very fun first-person parkour game. Of course, also has been given away by Epic, but it was the enhanced version that they gave away. This is again the complete version, has all of the DLCs and stuff, and now this is under $10 for the whole thing, which is a fantastic price, great value, lots and lots of content, has full co-op campaign. You can play this with friends. They can come into your game and give you like overpowered weapons and stuff. And yeah, it's a generally well-made game, it runs very well, and in my opinion, the best first-person parkour game I've played. So this is 80% off once again, $10 only. Next we have something new. So this is Turbo Overkill. Now I believe this game was in early access for a while, but it recently got its full release 1.0. And this is once again a cyberpunk FPS, retro style you could say, and a lot of fun, made by again a very small team I believe. And this one here, you have this like overpowered weapons and stuff like that. Your guy has chainsaw legs, so you can slide in and kill people with that. And yeah, once again, very fun game, on sale until the 18th of August. This is also available on Steam. So right now here is 15% off for $17. Over on Steam, it's got the same price, 15% off, $17. But of course, you also have regional prices. So have a look at this. Check out the demo. Demo is available. Game looks fantastic, and I am sort of thinking about getting this because this is my kind of game, cyberpunk theme. And this is, they're saying it's the best FPS since Duke Nukem 3D, best FOG FPS since Duke Nukem 3D. So looks very good. Next we have another RPG. This is ELEX. So once again, this is the sort of open world AA style RPG that you could say, something like Greedfall would be, and things like that. I played a little bit and I thought this was decent. Yes, of course it doesn't have the polish and the performance of like the big games, but it is surprisingly detailed. There are multiple factions that you can play, so you have the option to play the game multiple times, siding with different factions, and they all have their own differences. Like one of the factions in this game hated technology, so even if you mention something fancy, they'll get upset and stuff like that. So very interesting game. Once again, this is 75% off, $7.49. Next we have Technomancer. So another one of those AA RPGs. This is very cheap now, and this is 80% off once again, only $2. I played this recently this year, January of this year, and I really liked it. I even made a video for it, like a review for the game. And for the price, this is fantastic. So you are on Mars a few hundred years into the future, and you play as a Technomancer. Basically, these are people who have some special electric powers in their body, and you have to learn to harness them and of course try to work with the different factions and things like that, explore other areas. There's some romance elements, companions, things like that. Fantastic game, and it's not an old game either, so the price is fantastic because this is a 2016 game, so the graphics will feel modern and recent as well. Very decent game. Now on to some classic games. We start off first with Sniper Elite Berlin 1945. Now this is the first Sniper Elite game. I don't remember it being called Berlin 1945, but It is a pretty good game, and surprisingly, this is the only game I have played in the Sniper Elite series. I have played this at least 2 times or 3 times maybe. So it's just set after the events of the Second World War, and you are like a lone sniper in Berlin, and your objective is basically to protect and safeguard some scientists and help them defect basically. So you are basically fighting against the Soviet army here and working with the German resistance, because of course World War II is over here. So again, you are a sniper, you are Carl Fairborn as always. Snipe people from long range. You have the slow motion bullet time, what's it called? Bullet cam, where you're taking out enemies and headshots, different chapters with different objectives. And yeah, it's a very good game. I really liked it, and it's a bit more serious, I feel like, compared to the other games, the recent games. Again, I don't know too much about the newer ones, but I felt like they took that bullet cam thing a bit too much and made like a bit more comedy out of it, I suppose. But this one was a little more serious, and I really like the game. So again, 80% off, only $2. Next we have Return to Castle Wolfenstein. So another classic game. This is a Wolfenstein game from the early 2000s, I think 2002 or something. Graphically, it still looks pretty decent in my opinion. And there have been quite a few Wolfenstein games, reboots and stuff. There was one in like the late 2000, 2009 or something. That is unfortunately abandonware at this point, so it's not available. But this is from 2002, and again, looks pretty decent. Graphically from the time is not bad. This is once again 60% off, only $2. Then we have something different. This is ReVolt. So back in the day, I had a demo for this game. I really enjoyed playing this game. This is basically you running around with your RC cars and driving and racing in a neighborhood. So yeah, lots and lots of fun. You have different cars, and you have those abilities where you can throw like water bombs at each other, or like some firecrackers or something, and yeah, blow them up, win races. And you're just driving around in your neighborhood, so you have like real cars parked there, people's houses and things like that. A really fun little game, and yeah, it's still pretty interesting to play this game. I suppose the recent Hot Wheels game could be considered similar, but yeah, this is 15% off, only $5.09. Next we have Europa Universalis, and this is the original Europa Universalis. So the latest one is 4, I think, which is currently right now free on Epic Game Store. That is Europa Universalis 4. And those games are quite complex, quite big, and they have a lot of DLCs and stuff. If you want to start off with the original where it all started, you could check this out. This is the first game. Of course, it'll feel a little dated, but the good thing about these games is they are kind of easier to get into, a bit more simplified, and because of the art style, they wouldn't feel too bad in terms of graphics, because mostly you're working with maps and some strategy elements. So you will like this game if you enjoy strategy games, and it'll be a little easier to get into. And once you get the hang of this, you can play the newer games, because those become quite complex and a lot more time consuming to understand. So yeah, this is 75% off, $149. So yeah, that's a quick look at some deals on GOG, and hopefully I'll be back to making some regular videos. It is a little hard once I take a bit of a break due to health and other reasons to come back and get into the flow of games again. But yeah, hopefully I can get back into regular videos. Let me know what you think. Have you played any of these games? And thank you for watching as always.